What's going on, everybody? Chris Kennedy here, and I'm here to give you some breaking news about the Tennessee Volunteers. They just hired a new athletic director named Danny White. Danny White, formerly an AD and vice president for UCF from about 2015 until now, has decided to take the Tennessee job and try to revive the volunteer program. We will see how it plays out. Now, for anybody who doesn't really know much about what's been going on with Tennessee, a lot of recruiting violations and scandals have been brought to light. There's been rumors of, on the recruiting trail, Tennessee coaches handing out bags of money to players in McDonald's bags. I don't know how much truth there is to that. That seems a little bizarre, and you know how some of these stories can get overblown. But regardless to say, that is what's been thrown around out there, so it's not a good look. In the wake of all this, at first there was an internal investigation by Tennessee, and as a result of that internal investigation, they decided to fire Jeremy Pruitt, and Philip Fulmer, who was the athletic director, decided to step down. Now, he said he was stepping down because he felt a new athletic director should be involved in the hiring process of a new coach, and apparently, according to him, he was planning on stepping down sooner rather than later anyway, so he just figured, hey, let's go ahead and do it now. So Tennessee is in hot water because that was just an internal investigation. We have yet to see what the NCAA is going to do, and the expectation is maybe a 1 or 2 year bowl ban, a loss of scholarships, and a lot of recruits decommitting, players transferring out. And if you've been following the news at all, that has been the truth. There are guys leaving Tennessee left and right. I don't know fully how many players have decommitted that were already had signed letters of intent to go to Tennessee, but I would assume that that number is going to be on the rise here shortly. So step one was to get that athletic director, and they did. Okay, step two now is to decide what you're going to do with the coaching vacancy at Tennessee. Now, I made a video a couple of days ago, and I still stand by this. They brought Kevin Steele in probably about 3 weeks ago, and I think that Kevin Steele should be the head coach of Tennessee for the 2021 season. Do I think Kevin Steele is a phenomenal coach or a great coach or should be the permanent solution? Absolutely not. But what I also think is no coach worth a damn is going to want to go to Tennessee right now when, one, we don't even know what the NCAA is going to do, and two, you're probably going to be battling a lot of issues. You're not going to be able to recruit. It's going to be hard to compete for a couple of years. It's just going to be very challenging. So what good coach who cares about his career and wants to further his career would want to go to Tennessee? So I say, hey, let the NCAA stuff come out. We'll see what the damage is. Let Kevin Steele handle it. And then we can use the entire year to find a new head coach. Now, I'm an Alabama fan, so truthfully, if you want to go get some head coach, some half-ass guy, go right ahead. I've heard a lot of names thrown out there. Jason Witten, come on, man, guy's got like no coaching experience, and Jason Witten's name has been thrown out there. Tom Herman just got fired from Texas. Gus Malzahn got fired from Auburn because offensively they ran high school style stuff. You really want to bring that to Tennessee? You think that's going to turn the program around? I mean, Jamie Chadwell from Coastal Carolina, he's had like one good year, and I mean, now all of a sudden you think he's ready to go to Tennessee? I mean, there's been some other names, you know, I think Billy Napier was a name that was thrown out there. I think he's actually maybe okay, but I'm here to drop some news to Danny White, okay? Congratulations on getting that job, but this is what you need to do if you want to turn Tennessee around, and you'll thank me for this later. You need to go hire, ready for this, Chris Peterson. If you don't know who Chris Peterson is, you need to look him up. Spent some time at Boise State, very successful at Boise State. In fact, in 2006, or the 2007 Fiesta Bowl, he shocked the world when they beat Oklahoma and ran that famous Statue of Liberty play. Just a great underdog story for beating a program like Oklahoma, and just a lot of success when he was at Boise State. He had them on the map year in and year out. Then after that, he goes to Washington after Steve Sarkisian decided to leave Washington and go to USC, and he takes over the Husky program, and he wins 2 Pac-12 championships, and he takes the Washington Huskies to the college football playoff. The guy can win. He's got like a head coaching record of 147-38. He's got a winning record in bowl games, and he's a 2-time Paul Bear Bryant Coach of the Year award recipient. So the dude knows what he's doing. Now, he left Washington because he couldn't handle the stress, but he's still relatively young, and he's had some time away from the coaching profession. And a lot of times what we see are these guys think they're done coaching. They don't want anything to do with coaching because it's stressful. I mean, Urban Meyer is a perfect example of this. And then all of a sudden that itch comes back. Well, if I'm Danny White, what I'm going to do is I want to rebuild the Tennessee program up starting from scratch. I don't want to bring in some guy who's been around the SEC for years. I don't care about that. I want to go the Auburn route. Auburn brought in Brian Harsin. I think Brian Harsin's going to be a great hire. If I'm Tennessee and I'm Danny White, I'm getting on an airplane and I'm going to fly to wherever Chris Peterson lives, and I'm going to pull this Mal Moore, Nick Saban style approach with Chris Peterson and do whatever it takes to get him in Knoxville, because I think you really need to build this thing up from the ground up. And Chris Peterson brings a lot of fun, excitement. He's a player's coach. There'd be an energy in Knoxville that we hadn't seen in a long time, I think, if you were able to pull this off. Now, this is free advice. Danny White, you can do whatever, but if you're smart, if somebody sees this video, you might want to pass this on to the University of Tennessee. If they'd like to talk about it, I could clear out my schedule. We could work something out. I'm full of great advice, but that's my advice to UT. Go ahead, bring in Chris Peterson. Let's restart this program. Let's make this third Saturday in October exciting once again, and you'll thank me later. You guys take care.